I'm going to go down the line here. I'm going to go down the line here. We're going to do some introductions. If you don't know who they are, first of all, does everybody in the room raise your hand if you have no idea who I am? I love you guys. My name is John Patton. I run something called the Gun Collective. I encourage you all to check it out. I am a jerk on camera for a living. It's incredible. Yeah, see? I told you.
Even off camera.
Yeah, see? All right. First off, this gentleman to my left is one of my closest friends for many, many years now. This is Josh from Four Guys Guns. Josh, say hi.
How's it going, everybody?
Go ahead and adjust your mics if you need to, guys.
You have no idea how low we can go.
All right, next to him, we've got a gentleman that I met probably 2-3 years ago and runs one of the coolest podcasts around. It's called We Like Shooting, and this is Mr. Sean Heron. Everybody say hi. That's what I like to hear, booing. Yes, boo this man.
That's our audience right there.
Get that in a bit.
And I don't know if this guy can handle an introduction anymore. This is Tim from Military Arms Channel. Everybody say hi. And next to him, we've got one of the other tallest men in the gun industry, 22 Plankster. And the craziest duo from Georgia that I have ever met, and I'm sure will love every second of this just as much as I do. We've got Eric and Chad from Iraq Vet 8888. And everybody say hi to Zeke. Okay.
Just call him Sasquatch.
There you go. Now, see this young lady in the back here? Everybody wave to her. That's Brandy.
Hey, Brandy!
She is a force to be reckoned with. If you guys, we're going to do this nice and slow, right? Yeah, just like that. Now, if you have questions, Brandy has a microphone. We're going to have you go to Brandy. You guys can go ahead and stack up now if you want to, and go ahead and start asking questions. I'm going to start this off nice and easy while you guys figure out what you want to ask these gentlemen. Literally anything. It appears that everybody here is of an age where they can handle some weirdness, so let's do this. Now, guys on the panel, I have a question for you. We're at NRA, right? We're doing something that we feel is important. We've all taken the time to do this. Can you guys tell me what your favorite fan moment, you guys get to hang out, you guys get to meet all of these people at an event, what's your favorite moment? We'll go down the line, make it nice and easy. Whitey, go.
I think it's just pretty inspiring because you start this out, for a lot of us, it starts out as a hobby and becomes kind of a labor of love, and to actually get response on the back end that somebody's out there actually watching, someone actually gives a damn about what you say and how you do things in your opinion. This is an industry where not everything is, one size fits all, and it's really cool to actually meet somebody that connects with you on that level. I think that's probably the cool part for me.
I appreciate that, brother.
I heard you.
Sean, let's hear it.
I think just meeting people. SHOT Show is kind of fun, but I really love NRA just because we actually get to meet people that watch our content, listen to our content, and just realize that they're just like us. I mean, just everyday guys having fun, doing just shooting and all kinds of great stuff, and just becoming friends with people who are out there. And we really try to do that. We try to, if someone comes up to us, we try
Just
to
in case, hold on. Just in case the cameras didn't see it, Sean just got flipped off by the audience. So much they love him.
Sorry, what? I'm done.
You ruined it! Hey, well played. Go ahead, Tim.
So did you ask us what our favorite moment was?
Yeah. What was your favorite moment?
Blinky and I are going to talk about our favorite moment.
Let's hear it.
So, it wasn't necessarily a program. It was an event like this that we got together to do some shooting videos, and we went to Bass Pro to pick up supplies, and we were having the conversation about the weirdest moment we ever had, where we were someplace unexpected and we met a fan, and we were sharing our stories, and the whole time there's this guy following us, and he stops us
I'm sorry, Tim, I didn't mean to follow you like that.
It was creepy. Thank you for the money.
It's okay.
But anyway, so the guy comes up and goes, I hate to interrupt, but aren't you 22 Placer and Mac? I'm like, yeah, and we just started busting up laughing because we were just talking about this. And it was fun. Then it got a little bit weirder. After we left, we came up to the parking lot, and there was a guy with his girlfriend or wife.
Yeah.
And they were 4 or 5 parks down, parked in the parking lot, and we're loading stuff in the car, and this guy just keeps doing a little turtle feet. I think we got spotted. And he drags his significant other down and like, you guys, I watch all your stuff, and she's doing the eye roll and so
It's just,
it's fun. Go ahead. I don't mean to hug you.
No, you're fine. I don't know. I still wake up every morning and pinch myself that, like, y'all actually watch my stuff. It just blows my mind. But I probably do. I say the same thing about your stuff too. Can't get a break. I got the mic now. I guess one of the strange. I don't know if it's strange, but I don't know what it is. But my wife.
She is strange.
She is. But she just thinks for a couple of years I just played around on the internet, like that nobody like watched me, which not many people did when I first started. And she had one of those moments when we were walking through Walmart and we were buying some stuff, and some guy came up to me and said, "Hey, aren't you 22 Placer?" And I said, "Maybe."
That's what he was asking.
And she goes, "That guy knows you?" And I said, "I don't know him." And she just rolled her eyes and walked off. And so, it's my favorite part of like events like this is meeting you guys. And just like what was said before, we could not do what we do unless you guys watch. We would not have other companies look at us to supply us with the goods to show you guys. It wouldn't, I think we would all still like to do it to some form or extent, but you guys allow us to do what we love. And so while I have the mic, if I don't say anything else, thank you.
Don't worry, I'm gonna make him say more. Chad?
I guess the biggest thing for me is just seeing the fans, out at events like this, like that was mentioned down there about SHOT Show. SHOT Show is cool and everything. We have a lot of fans in the industry, but the public is really where it's at. And what I like the most is the kids. I love seeing families come up with their kids, get involved in shooting at a young age, like 6 to 10 years old, or whatever the case is, because they are really the next generation. Shooters out there, and especially women shooters as well. There's been so many females getting into the industry, and it's crazy to see the growth over the course of the past few years with everybody involved in social media. I mean, this tight-knit group of individuals we have up here, and just seeing what we're capable of and changing the way that the industry as a whole thinks about advertising and just getting information out there. It's nuts. I'm sure that Eric can reverberate that easily.
What's that word mean?
Reverberate that. What's that local page?
Just like I got you. Well, for me, I think what it's about is not about me. It's about you guys. I mean, it's about the human experience and gleaning that human experience from you guys. And more importantly, when I have a 16-year-old come up to me and shake my hand and said he's been watching me since he's 10 years old, mission accomplished. I mean, that's my goal. When I have long-time viewers like that, somebody that started watching as a young man or a young person, and then now they're a young man, winning those hearts and minds, I think is pretty important for people like us to some degree. And that means the most to me is when the young folks, come up and I see that I've made an impact on them. That's very humbling to me.
Yeah, I mean, when we say this all the time, we absolutely love every single one of you. We always say that kind of stuff, and a lot of people think we're just full of it, and that's simply not the case. I know in my heart that every single one of these gentlemen up here cares, actually cares.
Only you're full of it.
That's true. That's true. Zeke, do you want to add anything to that? So let me I'm going to give some context.
I'd like to go again, please. Josh was trying to be all inspiring, so I thought I had to follow up, and then I got flipped off, and I lost my train of thought.
Go ahead.
The best fan story was yesterday. Some dude rolled up to me, and he's like, "I love the show." Literally handed me a $100 bill. He's like, "I just want to support what you guys do. Here's $100." So I'd like all of you to follow his example.
Drinks on Sean, right? Sean's buying tonight, right?
I never get to have any fun with like I recognize you too because I walk around with truck.
Hey, can I borrow $100?
Sean, that's good. That's a deposit for the space here, right? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Hey, wait, I'm the accountant.
Brandy's, she's already called it.
Yes.
Brandy back here, she is one of the biggest forces behind the Iraq Vet 88 group of miscreants.
She keeps
These
us in line.
guys are, yeah, you guys are a
That's right.
handful, and I love every bit of it. Brandy, do you want to add anything to that? You have kind of a unique perspective.
Well, it tickles the hell out of me when I have somebody come up to me and know who I am.
Everybody should know
I
who
follow
you are.
you on Instagram. Oh, thanks.
All right, do we have any questions? I think, are you good? You want to ask something?
Weren't you going to give me some context?
No, I'm just going to leave it open-ended. So, guys, Zeke was part of something called Talking Lead. It was a great podcast.
Never heard of it.
And now Zeke is with Sonoran Desert Institute. Zeke, do you want to add anything, brother?
Yeah, probably one of my favorite things about, wow, if I get real close, it gets real loud. One of my favorite things about this NRA is we sponsor actually almost everybody out there on this panel as a school. And from coming from the content provider side of the house, working with some of these guys from Firearms Radio Network, having our own YouTube channel, doing stuff with these guys, it's really hard to get that point across to a lot of people in the industry, hey, this is a viable way to advertise. One of my goals with STI was to grow it to the point where people in the industry come up to me and say, how did you do that? And this show I've been able to say 3 times, new media, podcast, YouTube, social media, all that stuff, and that's how we did it. We cut out all the other stuff, and that's the way we've done it. And thanks a lot to everybody on this panel, too.
Of course, man. We appreciate what you do for us. Seriously. All right, let's get a question. Let's do this, right? It's a Q&A. Let's make it happen. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, John, thanks for having this for all
Hold the
of
mic
us.
closer to your mouth.
Thanks for having this for all of us. Eric and Chad, I just want to thank you guys because you got me back into shooting and gave me something to do with my son. And my one question is basically for Sean. We're getting close to the end of the NRA show, and I was just wondering how much Aaron's racked up and things missing.
Let's see. So
Go ahead and repeat the question.
So the question was how much has Aaron lost? So Aaron and Jeremy are on the We Like Shooting show as well.
Yeah.
They're very, very sweaty men.
It's weird.
Wow.
And
So for
gross.
the people that don't know, at Range Day SHOT Show this year, Aaron lost our $1,000 camera.
Sold it.
No, you lost it. Yeah, just lost it. We got back to the hotel and it was gone. So then a couple weeks ago, he shot my chronograph.
Wow.
So-
What kind of chronograph was it?
It was a.
I hope it was like an ailer and you just blew it out.
Yeah, it was a.
Yeah. So Aaron screws up a lot of our stuff, and Jeremy chokes people, and I'm just here to clean up the fucking mess. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Timestamp.
Timestamp. Somebody write that down.
Oh, by the way, if you listen to our podcast, you'll understand why I cussed.
Put that shit on a t-shirt.
All right, do we have another question?
Thank you.
We've got a couple guys. Again, guys, if you want to ask something, line up back here with Brandy, and be sure to hold that mic as close to your mouth as possible. It's a little weird. Just make it happen.
My question for Plinkster would be, somebody that's new to shooting, they want a .22 pistol, what would you say is their best entry .22 pistol?
That's a great question. Oh, boy. Go ahead and repeat that.
Careful now.
I always recommend the Bekortson Scorpion. It starts off at $1,400. If you're going to buy one, just get that one. But if you're not in the market for a $1,400 rimfire, always tell people to probably you need the Ruger platforms. I really like the 2245 platform, and also the Mark III. And it depends what you want to do with it. But if you're just starting to shoot, you need to develop good habits and good muscle memory. And so I would probably go with a slighter, heavier pistol, probably a Target model or a government model of some sort, and buy lots of ammo and just have fun.
Do they make government 22s? Like, does the
Yes.
government use 22s?
No, it's just called the government.
So that's a lie.
And
Well,
and the magazine.
Yes.
Yes, that's a great point. Anybody else have anything to add to that? You know, entry-level 22s. I think we all have at least 10 of those.
The Ruger Mark III is pretty much like, that's the one.
I like the Buckmark, I'm just saying.
It's because you're weird.
Yeah, I am a little bit.
I like the Frankenmark.
Yes, yes.
That's a nice setup.
Yeah.
Well, like Pointer said about the Mark IIIs, you can go to a local shop and find Mark I's or Mark IIs a lot of times for less than $300, easy. And those are great guns, nice and classic, very collectible. So.
And if you can find a Mark II slab side, like competition target, I don't care if they want $500 for it, you better buy it there, because that is one of the nicest production, most accurate production handguns ever made when it comes to rimfire.
Very cool, very cool. What do you guys think about that new M&P compact? I've heard lots of good things.
We own a few.
Yeah, there you go. That's all we needed to hear.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, brother.
Oh, I have one more question for
Send
Eric.
it.
You see those pictures of Obama in the gun shop that say gun salesman of the year? Have you ever gotten one of those from High Point for selling High Point firearms? Have you tried blowing up?
Wow.
That is the reason I bought a High Point carbine.
You're probably looking at the world's most successful high point salesman, yes. Well, yeah, I should have a plaque in my office, you know. So.
Oh, you have a plaque. That's not what it says.
It's funny, we actually have the high point slide that we melted down into like a little brick. We have it, and I think Barry, and myself, and everybody at Mall signed it. We still have it, and we actually haven't given it away yet, so I need to find a way to give that away to somebody, so maybe we'll...
You know what, speaking of that, why don't you just grab something off the table and give it away to that gentleman?
Cell phone.
No, we've got a whole table there to the left full of stuff.
Yeah, grab some.
Just seriously, there you go. Let's make it rain.
Sure. Let's see what we got here.
There's
supposed to give
iPhones,
it to
there's.
him.
Yeah.
there's-
You know what, I'll just make this happen. We're doing this.
Oh, check that out.
Hey, to the nice gentleman who asked the 22 question, get him some Stangers.
Stangers, baby.
Where you go?
There's that
Oh, we
20.
got some of them Stangers for you.
Federal and CCI.
That's pronounced with a hard G. Yeah, there was another question. I didn't see where everybody
Who
went.
asked the first question? Oh, there it is.
Come over here. I got something special for you.
No problem.
So I had
Go
this
the other
knife
direction.
made. This is a one-of-a-kind gun collective knife. It's a Griptilian from Benjamin. Here's the box. Thank you. Seriously, thank you.
Oh, now
We're an extra large.
Now you have.
See, now the free stuff starts coming out.
Now there's nobody sitting down. Everybody is lined up.
Who's doing reviews in the back?
They're not as shy anymore.
If you're wearing extra large, hold your hand up, please.
There it is.
I'm glad you shot better than you
There goes
could.
somebody's camera.
Talking about it.
Your own personal you cheated.
Looks like baseball.
All right, we're going to start. I want you to say your name, where you're from, and then go ahead and ask your question.
Sure. So my name is Bill Edwards. I'm from the Tampa Bay, Florida area.
Sorry. I told you I was going to make it weird, brother.
No, I do want to move to North Carolina, but that's a whole different other topic. First of all, I'd like to thank all you guys for the content. The free education, the free training that you guys provide is really awesome, and I really appreciate it. It's funny, I kind of found not all of you, but I found several of you through other channels. I think I found Mac through Corey and Erica, who I found through Jaeger, who I found through Now Fancy. So, it's like, and then,
Coming full circle.
yeah, it's, and then Irish veteran as well. And so I really do appreciate everything you guys do. So my question is to Tim. How did you get started? I kind of joined the channel, I guess, midstream. I didn't see the early on stuff, but I assume it was just military type stuff that you did. And what did you do really for a profession when you decided that you wanted to get into this?
So I got into it like pretty much everybody else up here did, I think. I speak for everybody. Just doing goofy videos. YouTube was a new platform, and I just decided to post some videos. At the time, I was pretty active on the gun forums, and I would just write little write-ups about guns. I thought I have an addiction. Hi, my name's Tim. I have bought a gun for about 3 days.
Hi, Tim.
Yeah, I know, right? So I would just do little write-ups and post pictures and stuff that I was acquiring and start a conversation, ask people what they thought and whatever, and I decided to do a video. And people were saying, hey, man, that's really cool. Can you do more? Can you get a new gun? Can you post another video? And so it went from posting one, maybe 2-minute video every couple of months to an addiction there too. So you start pushing yourself and you start to build an audience, and it just kind of just feeds itself. And I next started posting more and more videos. And what's weird is I haven't even gotten through a fraction of my gun collection because I keep buying stuff, and I have stuff you guys have never even seen before. So it's I was working in advertising, believe it or not. I did that for about 15 years. And I was forcibly retired a year ago, but I kind of knew it was coming. And that's when I just decided, to open up a gun shop, do videos and sell guns and all that fun stuff. So that's kind of my life in a nutshell.
Okay, so,
I think that's a great question.
yeah, so how did you, where did the military arms channel piece come from? You obviously picked that
That's
for a reason.
my primary interest. So when I got my very first paycheck, first thing I did is I went out. What was the first one I bought? On an AR-15, my mom bought it for me for my birthday. The first gun I bought with my paycheck, I think, was a Uzi. It was a 16 Uzi.
The
We
top
went Orange Park to Arnold's. It's just been, nobody in my family was into firearms, and I was kind of the black sheep, and everybody thought it was a weird addiction. And it started in high school, and I still have my very first AR-15. I've been promising myself I'm going to make a video on. But a lot of the guns I had to sell for money over the years, and now I'm going through the process of trying to put some of them back. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see all the weird stuff I buy off Gunbroker. But yeah, it's the military arms thing is something I've been interested in pretty much from the beginning. Not so much revolvers and stuff, but here's a weird fact. I actually did cowboy action shooting in the 90s.
Really?
And yeah, William Six Gun was the moniker, and I pretty much stayed in the Midwest and did that for about 4 years. And then, just kind of got away from it. So I still have 2 revolvers, a lever action, and I sold the shotgun. There are videos out there, but this is in the 90s, so we had like VHS-C. We didn't have digital really. So yeah, it's I'm old. Yeah. But yeah, there are videos out there of me dressed very funnily and carrying 6 guns and yeah, laser conspiracy. Yeah. Of course I know.
Hey, Tim.
Thank you. Come over and grab something, man.
There you go.
So Tim, what you're saying is you're old.
Yes, I am old. I remember the Civil War.
Really? You, sir, are the gracious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much. That is a Kinetic Development Group rail.
Yes.
For my boys that just happened to sneak in here, KTG has been a big supporter of guys like us, and that is a very, very nice rail. So thank you for the question. I think it's really interesting to kind of get that perspective, because a lot of us, we run into people and it's like, oh man, you must have some crazy story. Like, no, just like guns. That's that simple. And Tim really does have an enormous collection of cool stuff. It's true, I've seen it. Now, let's get another question. Go ahead, brother.
All right, yeah, my name's Brandon. I'm from Corydon, Indiana. Just a real quick comment before my question. I've gotten to meet some of you during the show. As listeners, as viewers of your videos, listeners of your podcasts, week in, week out, we get to feel like we really know some of you. Not in your personal lives, but I don't know how to explain this. We get to feel like we really know you, and it was just nice to meet some of you and feel so accepted. You guys are just real friendly and down to earth, and I really appreciate it. My question is, in the gun industry, and this is sort of a general question, so whoever wants to pick it up, since you all interface with various people in the gun industry, what in the companies that you see that are innovative, that are successful, what are the character qualities of the people that run those companies, or ranges, or instruction, whatever they do within the gun industry? What are the character qualities in the people that run them that separate them from people that aren't as successful, don't innovate, etc.?
Wow. Wow. I wanted questions like that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's a serious one.
Hey, Zeke, what do you think? Yes. Yeah. True. Hey, by chance, do you like to reload?
I would like to. I haven't gotten into
How about a Hornady reloading press?
Absolutely.
That's courtesy of Sonoran Desert Institute. We're gonna have you get with Zeke. We don't have it here because it's ridiculous for you to take home.
Oh my good lord.
But you, sir, have won a beautiful reloading press thanks to SDI.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
just come find me afterwards, I'll get you.
What's your favorite podcast?
Man, I can't pick a favorite. I love We Like Shooting. I love, he might choke me out. I listen to all of the ones on the Firearms Radio Network. So,
Yeah.
anything Firearms Radio Network related, I listen to it.
Doing things a little bit differently. You know, there's a lot of, I mean, this is mostly video, guys. I mean, Sean even does some video, but the podcast thing just does not get enough appreciation. So thank you. Thank you. All right.
Hey, just real quick, just to speak to that, how you kind of like, you listen to the, you know, our show's about 2.5 to almost 3 hours long sometimes.
Yeah, it's
and
ridiculous.
we get that a lot. Like people, they just feel like they're sitting around with friends, and I mean, that's why we try to spend so much time with you guys here, because that's, we know how much you listen. I mean, that's.
I was stalking you at different booths.
I know.
I got a little weird.
It's just as nice to meet you guys, seriously, as it is, I guess, for you to meet us. It's probably not that pleasant for you, but we really, really enjoy meeting everyone and just kind of hanging out and talking. It's one of the biggest joys of my life, personally.
I think to answer your actual, like, the other question, just to get the ball kind of rolling, because we don't want to get distracted. A lot of the companies that we work with, that we try and either work with, promote, review, things like that, what builds kind of a successful brand company, I think you nailed it right on the head with innovation. I think we're seeing a lot of the, I don't want to say older companies, but the more tenured companies just sticking with what they've always done, resting on their laurels with some government contracts, things like that, and they're just comfortable. They like the old way of doing things. And we're starting to really see in this day and age how things are changing from, I used to go pick up this magazine, and I'd watch it, and I'd read it, and I'd look through it, and I'd, you know, maybe you order some stuff, you enter a giveaway. Social media is really kind of crushing it right now. Digital content is crushing it right now. I mean, some of these guys can influence a bottom dollar with one video on a major corporation. The companies that seem to be doing really, really good, and the ones that I know I 4 Guys Guns like working with, are guys that are willing to push boundaries. They're willing to kind of anger some people because it's breaking molds. And they're companies that inherently have struggle within, because you can't have a bunch of yes men. If you surround yourself with yes men, I talk to John about this all the time. The last thing I want to do is become part of the Emperor's New Clothes. Anybody who's old enough to remember that little fairy tale, if you got a bunch of guys telling you you're doing it great, you just both can all of you march off the cliff. So guys that struggle within, guys that innovate, guys that push the boundaries and try and change things, no matter how weird and outlandish you might see, we want to try it. We want to try it, and if it's cool, move on with it. You know, that's just my opinion. I mean, these guys are way more.
Anything else to add to that, guys? We got to start rolling through. We got a heck of a line back here.
Real
Want to
quick,
make sure all the questions get asked.
I'm going to elaborate on that very quickly, that question. It's the people that stay up late at night, their wives are pissed at them because they're in their shop like a mad scientist, hammering out CNC machine programming and trying to come up with that newest idea. The people that are coming up with awesome products and the companies that are really excelling at that, I believe, are the ones that are the true gun nuts of the world. The people that truly want to create that next awesome thing because they just are really passionate about it. And I think it really shows in the products. It shows in the engineering, and it shows in what they do. I mean,
100%.
let your eyes be the judge of that. Don't take my word for it. You go around, you see something awesome, and you go, man, that probably took a lot of thinking to get that right. Well, chances are it probably did. Probably a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of effort to design and engineer that product.
Like what you said about pushing boundaries. Like what I said about pushing boundaries and whatnot, in the social media thing, you know, a lot of the old companies, they don't believe in social media. You know, they really don't. I mean, they just stick with their, like I said, rest on the laurels and just stay with print media and whatnot. But I mean, let's face it, print media is kind of a dying bird in Harris Publications. You know, just took a dive. You know, and you know, social media is where it's at, and the companies that see that and who have like younger people that have the right mindset that are working in the media areas in those companies, and they get it, and that's really where the future is in those companies that can really spread the word about their products out there, you know, on literally a global scale.
Yeah, I mean, we could sit here and talk about this for 5-6 hours.
I'm not going to say who, but you know,
Easy. So why don't we hook that man up with something?
Do you have a Glock? Are you a Glock fan?
I do have 19 MOS.
All right, come here real quick. I need you to have some of these red velocity mag extensions. This is going to give you +5 rounds, and it's going to look badass.
So why don't you tell them? That's from
That's from Falcor.
Falcor
a company
Defense.
that we work very closely with, and that's actually a partial invention of ours that Falcor helped take to manufacturing.
He's being modest, but he helped design that.
It's again.
Thank you. Clap it up
it's
for
really
that.
nice.
That was a great question. That was a great question. All right, let's get another one. Oh my Lord, Aaron.
All right, Aaron.
You don't get to win anything.
I don't want any of your swag.
Make it quick, brother.
All right, hey, all of you guys have done reviews on products. Tell us the story of the worst product you've ever reviewed.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. I had a hair tie as a holster once. What's that? I have not tried the rubber band holster.
I don't know if these people are in this.
And so, if you have not seen my show, I rip on holsters on a regular basis because there is an enormous amount of stupidity in that market for some reason. Yeah, the bungee holster, the handgun sling.
Did you see the one somebody used a flip flop?
Yes. I think I might try and produce that one. So worst, let's simplify worst product you've ever reviewed.
Well, used
Do
or
it.
reviewed because it didn't make it in a video.
That's fair, that's fair.
Okay. I guess the first one for me was, I guess about a year and a half, 2 years ago, this nice guy sent me, just kept just wearing me out on Facebook. Hey, I want to send you my targets, I want to send you my targets, I want to send you my targets. And finally I said, send me your targets. And I said, I'll shoot them and see how I like them. And so I took they were reactive targets. They weren't like Tannerite or anything like that, but they were reactive. And so I brought my daughter out there, and the first shot it broke. The target broke.
Wow.
Yeah, it just broke.
High quality stuff. Anybody else want to talk about something that was?
And that was with the
atrocious?
22 also. It broke.
Does anybody work for Utah's in the room?
And that was good. That was good.
I knew that was coming.
Well, see,
No way.
I know a lot of these guys don't want to be negative. I'm not afraid of it as much. They like to be positive. I have no problem being an asshole.
There was one before the Utahs, remember that one?
I think you guys have good luck with breaking shotguns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We break a lot of stuff.
We do. Yeah.
Yeah, the Utah's 15 definitely turned.
Speaking of the mic, Eric.
I've never been able to get a Utah's 15 to run 100% reliably. I mean, I know they've gone through the growing pains, but I mean, let's face it. I mean, that's just one of those things. I mean, it's an interesting piece of engineering. It's an interesting firearm, but I think it's kind of a gimmick. It's not something I trust my wife to.
That's a great response.
And we also had let's see, what was the gun that almost
SGM.
appeared? Yeah, the
SGM.
SRN?
It's RN,
What was the semi-automatic shotgun that Rick raised?
12-16.
The 12-16,
Well,
yeah.
to be fair, we didn't post that video, but to be fair about it, it was an earlier gun that they had some issues with the geometry of the receiver sections because it's a blade roller blowback firearm. So the rollers are actually held by the receiver, and there was polymer in the receiver. It was a little bit weak on some of the early ones, and I've been informed that they've since actually fixed that issue, so it's really not an issue.
And see, that's something that what you just touched on is really, really important. And that's something that I know everybody up here loves. The fact that we can help potentially make something better by providing feedback and all that kind of stuff. I love that. I absolutely love being able to go, hey, listen, this may or may not work right, whatever it is, whatever feedback we provide to help make sure that when the product actually gets out to you guys, it doesn't suck. I mean, it's that simple, right?
Well, John, very quickly, another thing I'll elaborate on very quickly is that a lot of times these YouTubers, and I'll give you all an idea about this, a lot of these YouTubers and a lot of these online guys, we tend to get things before anybody else. You know, in the industry, they'll want to send us the newest and greatest, and they'll want us to check it out and everything like that. And let's face it, we all know that sometimes the first lot of guns that's out there, there might be a few lemons, there might be some growing pains. There might be something that they, you know, in the first 100 or so units, they learn something, oh crap, we got to fix it. And then there's some rolling changes that they implement into the manufacturing process. So it's not uncommon, no matter how good a given firearm is, there's always going to be some growing pains with every new design. So, you know, that's why it's important for us to not jump to conclusions and not throw anybody under the bus when sometimes things like that occur. But we still have to be honest with you guys. So it's kind of a fine line there. We have to still maintain a level of integrity with you guys.
That's true. All right, let's roll. Let's roll on to the next one. Yep, let's keep it moving. Go ahead, brother.
Hello. This one's first to John and everybody else. I know big event like this, y'all going to come meet a lot of people, people are gonna, interact and you're gonna kind of promote your brand as people you already know. So I was wondering, there's a lot of prep that goes into it, and then you're really concentrating on a lot of hard stuff. Then you get out the door, and you left something behind.
Yeah, you forget your patches and stickers.
Like literally every piece of swag you had, right? Just all at home.
Yeah, I forgot my patches. He said he was gonna say that.
Is there anybody else that experienced that? All this prep, and then you get outdoors, you get all the way here, you're like, oh God, it's still at home.
Every time.
It's not just the shows, man. It's like every day I go out to shoot video, I have to leave stuff in the Jeep. So I have a full toolkit, rifle cleaning, pistol cleaning, patches, and spare parts, and every tool known to man. And I'll get out there at least once a month, and I'll be missing something I need. So then I go back home and I buy whatever it is I need, and I put it in the Jeep and I leave it there. It's just an ongoing process, man.
I think everybody has kind of a kit in their vehicle of just like, I forgot this like 8 times, I'm just gonna buy like a bunch and keep them.
Yeah, you might own 5 of them now, but you have one in the car.
Bring yourself up here, I got something for you.
I've actually, Aaron loses all my stuff. So I don't usually.
Come on up then.
Hey,
Yeah, go ahead.
Ear Pro
Would you like
specialist.
Transformer rail?
Dude, you don't even know. That's from Manicore Arms, Transformer Rail, runs Keymod, Imlock. They're really awesome.
You know what's very funny is I ran into him at the Manicore booth and he's like, hey, can I get that? That was not planned. That was not planned.
Wait a second, you're the guy that flipped me off. Give that back.
Everybody give a round of applause. That was a good question. All right, let's go ahead and get another question.
I'm Chris Reynolds from Louisville, Kentucky. Thank you guys for being here.
Hometown boy!
You guys spend way too much time in my living room on my wife's screen, my wife said.
I like it when people watch on their television.
Yeah, well, the only problem is
sexier on TV.
there's a link at the bottom. It's not at the bottom, so I got to figure that one out. I got 2 questions. We do need to make this quick. I want to get everybody through here.
Thank you.
First one, I know John started with FNX Squishy. I think it was on IV, Chad, with the squishy handle on the FNX 45 Tactical. You said that they need to be called out on it, and then I heard, I think on IV 888 that it's not a problem.
Well, actually, John, later after that video, he found out some information he didn't know, and he kind of came out and said, hey, I was wrong. And sometimes we are wrong on things a lot.
Okay, I missed that.
We actually just
He's like, yeah, you did correct.
We actually just made a gun gripe about that subject called Read the Manual, and the whole purpose of that gun gripe is to explain that sometimes we can't be all-knowing. You know what I mean? No matter what, you're not going to learn everything that there is to know about firearms. There's always going to be something that you're going to get wrong and then later have to eat your words. I mean, it happens. And a lot of these folks out here that think, oh, these YouTube guys are, all-knowing and all this. Guys, we're not experts. I mean, we don't know everything. It's just...
There's no way we possibly
We want
could.
to try to, we want to try to know what we can and try to put out good information.
All right,
Damn it, Chad.
Seriously, Chad?
I hope it's I mean,
Thanks, John, bro.
No, but seriously, when speaking from my point of view, when I get things wrong, I'll admit it.
No, I'm not calling you out. I just want to know the
I understand,
story.
but I screw up. Yeah, I think it's important to be able to say, listen, I didn't have all the information at the time. I went with what I do because from my perspective, I try to get a show out to you guys as fast as I possibly can. That happens in 2 days. Sundays and Mondays. I edit the show on Monday, film on Sundays. It happens very, very quickly. And it'll be like Monday night, as the show is uploading, somebody will show me something, hey, here's addition to what you just put. And unfortunately, it can't get in there every week. And it's a little bit of a frustration, but we do what we can to provide the most accurate information we can. And I know that everybody up here, again, as always, we kind of have the same policies. We're not afraid to admit when we're wrong.
I love the FNX. It's one of my favorite guns.
It is fun.
And I spent that much money and I saw John's video, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, my real question for the whole group, and
don't
don't forget that this is your core audience here. You got all our emails, so keep us involved. But full 30. I love it. I love the concept. Is there a driving force? Where's it going? Who's behind it?
Tim?
Well, I'm the only guy on stage with a full 30 shirt. So I have something to do with it. It's kind of a weird relationship that we as a gun community have with YouTube. You guys probably remember when Hit got his plug pulled twice. Full 30 was something we came up with at SHOT Show 3 years ago. A bunch of us sat around in a dank little bar in a hotel called Circus, and we said, what are we going to do if they ever pull our plug? And because YouTube, believe it or not, is mostly anti-gun, or at least the management has anti-gun views. And we find that's true with Facebook and everything else as well. What's that? Yeah. Right? I don't know what it is with technology being left-leaning, but that just happens to be the case, it seems. And YouTube demonstrated that when they pulled Hickok's plug. That's something we've been foreseeing for some time, and we decided to take our destiny into our own hands and build a platform independent of YouTube, so if they ever do pull our plugs collectively, we have some place to go. So it's a firearms community that we built for the whole purpose of having, in essence, a backup plan. But obviously we don't want people to wait until something bad happens before they check it out. But that's the whole driving force behind it, was to give us a place to go, a safe haven, where corporate America can't say, hey, we don't like your content, we're going to pull your video player, we're going to pull this. We own the back-end servers, we own the software, we wrote it all ourselves. Everything about it we own, and nobody can turn us off.
That's right.
So,
it's a great thing.
Can I play devil's advocate, brother, for one moment? Let me play devil's advocate, though. About Full 30. Full 30 is definitely the future of the way that we'll consume content as a gun community. I'm certain of that, okay? However, one thing about Hickok getting pulled, that's awesome. One thing about Hickok getting pulled, though, we all bitched and complained about it, and what happened? They brought him back. They saw the power of our voice as a community, and they realized, holy crap, these people covered us up. And what did they do? They brought them right back.
And it wasn't just us, it was you guys.
It was you guys, us, all of us complaining about it, and they got such a spread of emails and so much feedback, they were like, holy crap, we have to bring them back. YouTube's policies when it comes to community guidelines are absolute. They do not bend their policies. They do not, but they did.
Yeah, that's right.
They did.
Thank you.
So
by the way, guys, hold that flag up real quick. That is a Jordan Cove Company wooden flag of the gun makers. That is awesome. They couldn't be here, but I know they appreciate your guys' support. Jordan Cove Company. All right, let's get another one. Let's keep this rolling.
I just
What's your
want to
name, brother?
throw something. Who wants a shirt?
There you go. You know what? Everybody on stage, throw up a shirt. Trying to get anybody in the face.
Yeah.
Who else wants a shirt?
Eric.
Get him, guy.
There you go. You're throwing something. Magazine? You see that magazine?
Back corner. Here's the target. Here's the target right here.
Are you throwing out Lancer mags? Lancer mags.
All right, we got cinder blocks.
Here's a dump truck.
Eric's known for those torture tests, you know.
Yeah. This is fun. Seriously, guys, this is so much fun. Let's keep it rolling.
Hello, my name is Mitchell Barnes. I'm a big fan of all the YouTube channels.
We love you too, Mitchell.
I watch them much more than actual television.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm just kind of really into guns, and this is a question for Eric and Tim. What's one mil-cert firearm that you have sought out the most?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Do we have to own it yet?
How long do we have?
You're unable to find it.
Yeah, one you've been looking for and have been always wanting it, you can't find it.
Yeah. Well, I came real close to almost getting my my bucket list gun, which is FAMAS. It's a bullpup French made. They reported about 200 of them came in the country. Larry Vickers has one, and I keep trying to look for the right angle where I can choke him out and get it. If I suddenly disappear, you'll know why. I didn't get my FAMAS.
Where's he at? Let's go get him.
All right, Eric, go ahead.
You know, that is an incredibly difficult question to answer, and I believe that it comes down to production numbers, like Tim said. I mean, some guns, there's just so few of them made, and they're so highly desirable that they're just kind of an enigma. It's hard to come across them. I mean, something like an original, like Bergeson carbine, or something like a Swiss Mondragon, which is such a rare gun. There's so few of them out there that they're just impossible to locate. There's always going to be guns like that I know I'll never own. I would say one of the most obtainable, rare guns like that would be some of the Swiss sniper rifles that are out there, like the ZK55s and the 41s, 43s. Those guns are produced in numbers that are enough to where an average person can afford one. and they're somewhat available if you look hard enough, and I would have to say that's probably one of my bucket list guns for sure.
You know what's really, really entertaining for me about that? I have no idea what any of those were. Hey, we'll leave it up here, but USA Chemical Supply has come through with 600 pounds of binary. 600 pounds up here on the stage. Now, we're gonna go, we got 10 kits here. We've got some.
Let's throw them a bunch.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got in these kits are combo packs, right? It's some of the high velocity stuff and some of the 22 stuff. You get one of these kits, brother. When you're ready to rock, that's one of those is yours.
Hey, can we set that off in the parking lot?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Shenanigans will be had.
Where's John? Where's he hiding?
Good question.
There he is. Thank you. That's John. He runs USA Chemical Supply. Say thank you to the man. He knows how to blow things up properly. Let's get the next question. Thank you so much, Mitchell.
All right, I'm Jim Britton from down the road in Frankfort, Kentucky.
Hi, Jim.
You know, a lot of people might look at you guys as being entertainers or your format is entertainment, but I personally look at you as providing a service. Because as a military veteran, when it comes to older weapons, I'm pretty fairly familiar with stuff. But when it comes to purchasing something that's new on the market or I've never really had any much encounter with, I look to you guys to figure out whether that's worth it or not, okay? So my question is, with the new Tavor that's out, the new X95, and I know Tim's a big Tavor guy.
Everybody looks at him.
And you're probably the reason why I bought my first Tavor, but is it going to be worth it in the difference between the old Tavor and the new one to upgrade to a new one?
It's a good question. What do you think, Tim?
So I'm kind of undecided on that myself. The original Tavor, the thing I don't like about it is the location of the charging handle and the inability for me to put just a light I like on the gun without having to replace the front fore-end grip. Or doing I've met some guys that have done some really cool, do-it-yourself type stuff where they've come up with great solutions, but that's not me. Me and tools don't get along so well. So the one thing I like about the X95 is the fact that it has a relocated charging handle and it has pick rails up front that you can actually put stuff on, makes the weapon more usable. But on the other hand, I still like the Tavor better. I wish I could put the X95 rail system on the Tavor. But, so I'm kind of undecided. Also, a lot of guys are talking about, I did a couple of videos showing the accuracy of the X95. A lot of folks aren't real pleased with the accuracy being about 3 MOA. If you're a military rifle guy, you'll know that 3 MOA is pretty standard, right? But we live in a culture here in America, specifically because AR-15 is America's rifle. And it is the gold standard, the benchmark by which all other rifles are measured. And rightly so. But you can build an AR-15 that can shoot, 1.5 inch, 1 inch groups fairly easily and still have a fairly reliable rifle. And people are saying the X95 simply doesn't live up to those standards because it doesn't shoot 1 inch groups. That doesn't bother me so much, but I still think I like the Tavor better. It's about a 2 MOA gun with the ammo it likes. I don't know what you've gotten out of yours, but I don't know, man. I'm just undecided.
That's a hard question.
Yeah, I haven't switched over.
It's
I have the X95. I'm not using it. When I take a rifle out, it's still a Tavor.
It's a lot of money to put up front for something you may have already had that's real close to it.
I wouldn't go selling my Tavor, man.
There you go.
A good piece of advice I would give to reflect on Tim's statement there. I own the X95 and the standard Tavor as well, and I like them both. I definitely agree with you. I like the rail system, and I love the X95. It's a great gun. If you're going to buy both of them, what I'm probably going to do, I'm going to take my Tavor and convert it to 9mm. And just have a 9mm Tavor and then run the X95 like it is and be done with it. I'm not crazy about the way they suppress. They gas a lot.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a great gun. I like it.
Hey, Tim, why don't you hand him the thing in front of you? Not your thing. Yeah, that Lancer
You scared me.
Yeah, wrong thing.
Directly in front of me.
No, the Lancer thing. We'll do that. We'll save the night vision.
I know this isn't for a Tavor, but do you have an AR-15? Oh, yeah.
He's got an AR. That is a Lancer AR-15. Hold that up, brother.
Yep.
That's a carbon fiber Lancer rail. Really, really cool. We've got a young man back there. What's your name, man?
Will.
How old are you?
15.
15 years old. That's the future right there. What's your question, brother?
Alright, I have 2 questions. First one is for Eric. What does the 8888 stand for in your name?
Everybody asks me that. So early on, you know how the first email address everybody gets, they always come up with, it's like skater dude and some numbers, or it's
Were you a skater
guitar
dude?
player guy and some numbers. It's always some like random term with a random number. Well, there was kind of this thing going around with the way that my mom and I had like set up our initial email addresses. This is way back in like, days of AOL and AOL, all that. Yeah, but anyway, she used to put these 8s in there for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Because his number's 88, right?
He's not kidding.
So, I'm totally not kidding. So, it basically was because I tried to do like Iraq veteran 88 for Dale Earnhardt Jr. and it was taken. I was like, well, screw it, 2 more 8s. And then there it is. So it ended up being 4 8s. And back then, when I created a YouTube channel, I thought, okay, well, no one's going to give a crap about anything I have to say. No one's going to care, so it won't matter. It's just random crap. It's a
And what
random
happened?
term with random numbers. And
A
nobody
billion
will care. It won't
subscribers
matter.
later.
But then it ended up being the case where it did matter, and now I get that question a million times.
And that was the hardest to
And,
pronounce YouTube channel name ever.
Yeah.
In retrospect, would you?
I
go with
wouldn't do
something
it any
else?
different though. So that's why. For Dale Earnhardt Jr. And the thing is, I'm not even really a big racing fan, but.
All right, what was your second question?
My second question is for all of you. What's the best product you've reviewed?
All right, let's do this real fast. Real fast. I'm gonna start and we'll just chop down the line. You guys ready?
Think of it.
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot. The best product I've ever reviewed, and everybody's gonna give me crap about this because I love shotguns so much and always talk about them. The Beretta A400 Extreme is far and away one of the best shotguns I've ever touched. Semi-automatic, it's incredible. 3.5 inch. Go ahead, Whitey.
I'm also probably gonna get crap for this, but I would have to say the Falcor Blitz. It's just an outside the box, super fun gun to shoot, and I like guns that stay flat and fold up small. But
that's a cool gun.
Punch to it, it's good.
All right, Sean.
I mean, it may not be the best product we've ever reviewed, but rubber dummies, they're one of my favorites just because we use them so often. It's kind of made out of old recycled tires. It's a big bust on a stand. You just put some primer on it. It shows your impacts. They're really nice, couple $100, and we use them all the time.
Cool. Tim?
Gosh, I can't say that I have a favorite gun or anything like that, but probably the gun I have the most fun with is my Desert Tech SRS A1. It's a bolt action. What really I love about it is the fact that I can go between calibers very quickly. 2 minutes I can switch from 6.5 Creedmoor to 300. Not 300 blackout. I wish.
Win mag.
Yeah, 300 Win mag. And so I find myself shooting that quite a bit, and I just love shooting tiny groups. That thing with a 6.5 barrel in it, shoots half MOA.
Funny story about that rifle. First time I ever pulled the trigger on Tim's rifle, I hit a target at 1,000 yards. There you go. Go ahead. Mr. 22.
Mine would have to be the Scorpion, the Scorpion.
Yeah.
I've shot a lot of stuff. Almost every rimfire product on the market I have shot, but I keep going back to the Scorpion. It works.
Cool. Dig it. Chad.
It's a tough one. I mean, I'd have to say maybe like recently, probably the Walther PPQ. That kind of surprised me a little bit. Very good suppressor hose. I mean, although, Eric broke it, but that's okay. But that gun was just exceptional. It really was. I mean, very accurate. Just feels good in the hands. I mean, whole 9 yards. Just a great little gun.
I would have to say that one of the most memorable reviews or videos that we've done in recent times, and really what I look at one of the videos being kind of a cornerstone of what we do as a channel, when we melted down that Vepr.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Tim was down there for that. We did the AK meltdown, and we did the converted Vepr that Tim and Copper Customs donated the gun, and then we sent it down to Chase at Definitive Arms, and he converted it to full auto. Seeing the way that Vepr held up legitimately impressed me. It takes a lot to blow my skirt up.
Did you guys see the video? Yeah.
Yes.
That gun still runs.
That gun,
It stopped running in the video. We didn't know it. We thought the barrel had drooped too much. That's not what happened. So the barrel was so hot, it was melting the copper off the jacket. It was coming back in the gas system and accumulating in the gas system. And so when the piston was going home, when Eric stopped to change magazines, it allowed that copper to solidify. And the gas piston just wouldn't go home. So we sent it back down to Chase because he's the guy that converted it and it's legally his gun. And he scraped that copper out, and he sent me a short video of the thing firing full auto. And it
ridiculous.
without the NFA shoot, we're letting people shoot it. It hits about 8 feet below at 7 yards. 8 feet gun is still running.
I was so impressed at how that firearm held up. I mean, I always knew AKs were tough, but man, that sucker right there. I mean, I've got the same configuration of that gun, but in 545 by 39 that we're going to be sending down. So just as a little hint, we're doing a 545 meltdown of the same exact gun soon. So
It's gonna smoke the AR.
And that thing's going to go the long haul because that thick barrel with the skinny bore, yeah.
It's
gonna
gonna be
take a lot
awesome.
of rounds to kill it.
Tim, you bringing that 7.6?
I think you should come up here and get you some explosives, young man. Grab one, brother. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, make sure you run with that. There you go.
All right,
so it'll come
guys,
together.
we got to keep going fast, so let's cut it down to one question per person, and we're going to steamroll this, all right?
One question. All right. Well, you guys, I like watching a lot of you guys. Bought a lot of my guns from watching you guys. Chad and Eric, I guess I got, well, kind of a double question, but it's like one and one. One, do you have all those tactical wall shelves or the shelving in your home like you had in your video? Other thing is, if you had to pick your favorite AR build with suppressor system, what would be the best?
Our favorite?
Yes, if you to build or for someone to build, what would
Well, I
you
would say
recommend?
that right out the gate, those BCM 18-inch ion bond coated barrels are really, really nice. It's kind of a medium contour, heavy barrel knit. It's a great barrel that they put out. They're a little bit on the pricey side, but we got some really good accuracy out of them. We built several of them using that barrel.
Yeah, I've got one. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the gun that Eric Durr coated, kind of like a redneck ATAX for me. I mean, scope, everything.
Is that patented?
Huh?
Are you guys collecting royalties on redneck ATAX?
Yeah, redneck ATAX.
I like that.
We probably should, but that gun shoots the living daylights out, and you know, it's just a great rifle. And I've got a M4 2000 that I run on it, but to be honest with you, it sounds best with like a 308 can. I mean, that gun is just so incredibly quiet and accurate. It's just great. I love it. That's my favorite. Probably my favorite AR.
And to answer your first question about the tactical walls, I have most of the models that they sell in my home except for this one.
And now you have that one.
Yeah, there you go. That's a Tactical Walls 812 pistol
I've got
shelf.
their mirror and I've got one of their portraits, and those tactical walls are great. I'm telling you, Tim and those guys over there at Tactical Walls, they're killing it. They're doing great.
We've got the full box in the back with everything else that came with it, brother. Hang on to that. We'll meet up with us afterwards.
Appreciate it.
Let's say thank you to Tactical Walls for helping out. Thanks so much for that question. Let's move it on. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, I'm Nick from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and I got a question for Eric and Tim. Kind of, Eric, when you're doing your meltdowns and Tim, you're doing your torture tests, have you ever had kind of one of those oh shit moments? Something's gone really, really bad wrong?
How about when that barrel let go? Or was it the gas? Well, I don't remember what it was.
So, yeah. So the first meltdown we did just a standard direct gas impingement AR with the stainless steel Faxon barrel. And I probably went into that video just thinking, oh yeah, what's the worst that could happen when that barrel popped? It was definitely one of those moments where I was like, yeah, I should invest in some better. I think that's why that video got so many views, is because people are like, holy crap, this guy's an idiot. And now,
Don't forget about the muzzle brake spinning off. I mean, throwing fire everywhere. I mean, that made that video.
And we shot the muzzle brake. So as the muzzle brake came off, it got hit. So we found the muzzle brake. It's got a bullet.
Oh, wow.
Tim, any of
Unlike Eric, I haven't tried to kill myself. But I do go down and watch him try to kill himself. And I donate guns to the cause.
He's there for a lot of it.
Yeah, Tim and I were actually there for the AK meltdown,
Yeah.
and I have never seen Eric be so drenched in sweat from wearing so much protective gear. It was really
It was like
gross.
110 that day.
Yeah, and he's wearing full gear.
Oh,
Just,
yeah,
oh my God, it's crazy.
I haven't blown a gun up, sticking it in the mud or water.
Not a BP9?
What's that?
No BP9's
It
blown
just
up?
stopped working.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just bounce it off the steel.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really blown anything up. I try not to. But no, I haven't had any like uh-oh moments. The big letdown for me was the BP9.
Yeah.
I mean, that video was supposed to
I
be a
was
christening moment where
that
this
close to
guy's
buying
why
that
I like the
gun.
BP9. And what a lot of folks don't know is that we dumped that thing several times, and I couldn't believe the results. I mean, I can kill an AK with a pinch of sand, right? It gets in the wrong spot of the gun. I don't care how reliable you think it is, I'll kill it. I thought maybe that magical piece got in the gun. We cleaned it, lubed it, went back, threw it in again, and it continued to choke all afternoon. I was like, wow. It could have just been that gun, I don't know, but it was a big letdown for me.
I will say that with the torture test, there's kind of a priority when it comes to like the way I armor myself up. So I'm always like thinking about which parts I don't want to get damaged the most. So like we're out there with duct tape and, you know, like soft armor, like taping around my crotch and my legs. I'm trying to protect my arteries. I'm thinking, okay, what could kill me or dismember me? So yeah, we tend to, you know, be a little careful about it these days. I've got a level 3A face mask now we use. It's literally bulletproof. Maybe I won't die.
Why don't you come up here and get some Lehigh defense ammo, brother?
Hopefully you carry 9mm. I do, and I've been looking for this stuff everywhere. So.
Yeah, that's right. Lehigh Defense was nice enough to give us some of their brand new 90 grade extreme defense ammo. I'll give you some more. So thank you to Lehigh. Clap it up, guys. Lehigh's been a big supporter of everybody up here, so you know, I know they appreciate it. All right, let's do another one. Rock and roll.
Hello, my name's Curtis.
Hi, Chris.
Curtis.
Curtis. Nice to meet you. Way to go, noob.
I'm from Michigan, so.
Go ahead, brother.
It's kind of related to the kind of the media question, but you know, when I was young, I'm only 23, but when I was younger, you know, it kind of seemed like the military kind of guns were kind of, you know, kind of like more, I don't know how to explain it, like kind of accepted, or, you know, I could have just been hanging around a lot of fudge, so. You know, but I mean, is it kind of the case where maybe back then it wasn't accepted or it just wasn't that big or popular? Just, you know, maybe the culture was different back then. I don't know.
I'm probably one of the oldest guys up here, and I remember in the 80s I was big into military firearms, and we had all sorts of crazy stuff coming to market before the bans hit. And then when Bush's ban hit, it really started a downward slide, and people in the gun industry got scared to bring new stuff to market because they were fearful it was going to get banned right after Bush did his little magic trick. Clinton came in with the assault weapons ban, and we just kind of went through a period where nobody was going to invest in new firearms technology for the civilian market because they didn't want to lose their investment. And so we went to that period I think you're talking about, where we just didn't have much, and things were kind of bland, and then we came out, and myself included, I thought, yeah, they're going to reenact this ban, you know, the 94 ban. I couldn't believe that they would just let that sunset. But I think companies after that, a few years later, started to realize, man, we can do this. Now they had a whole different set of rules to play by, the whole 922R goofiness. You know, you can't import machine gun barrels, you can't do this, you got to have so many U.S. parts. That kind of put the kibosh on it for a few years. But now we're seeing companies, you know, bringing in military firearms from the Czech Republic, from Russia, from, you know, everywhere. We're seeing stuff come in from all over. And that's because they're investing in tooling up and manufacturing here in the U.S. So we're kind of going through a second renaissance. I think a lot of the stuff that you saw that you're talking about has to do with the bans that we saw from 89 on through the 90s.
It's all about cause and effect. I mean, when Columbine occurred, there was this big thing about, you know, black guns. Oh, you know, and it was really taboo to be a gun owner. And it seemed like there's this taboo thing that surrounded gun ownership because of those events, and it really hit a lot of people hard. And then you look at you know, things like you know, Sandy Hook and whatever. I think it did the opposite. So again, a cause and effect issue, but this time it created gun owners. It made people go, holy crap, yeah, they're going to go after these things. So if we don't buy them, we're going to be SOL if we don't have a chance to get them. So it created like kind of a fear that people then turned into a big pile of guns. So it created a bunch of new gun owners.
It created some positivity in our community.
It did.
A lot
I
of
think
people were
some
very
good came
curious
out of it.
and pushed
Initially,
them over the edge to buy.
It was crazy.
You know, the post-Clinton ban era, we've really seen things change to our favor. People have been very active when we've seen the Second Amendment community come together, and I think social media plays a large role in that. People can communicate now on Facebook and stuff, and get each other, you know, call each other to action. So we're seeing protests, like when they tried to pass those bans on the magazines and firearms after the Sandy Hook shooting. You know, people were showing up at courthouses armed, and they were making their voices heard. And we've also seen now all 50 states to some degree have concealed carry laws. My home state of Indiana, we just got short-barreled shotguns legalized. We haven't had them my entire time I've lived there until now. So we're starting to see stuff turn around.
Yeah, things are happening.
Yeah, social media allows the information to be disseminated so quickly, and also allows you to have a better relationship with the people that you're disseminating that information to. So like we all know each other, and then you know the people you know, and they know the people they know, and all of a sudden, bam, there it is. and you got the word out, and it's more socially accepted thing because it's social media. It's
Well,
kind of
and the social media is, it can't be controlled by the left or the right, or like
Exactly.
regular media does, so we get the information social.
it's from your peers, by your
That's
peers.
right.
So that's what makes it so powerful.
All right, why don't you give him one of the things that's in front of you, Eric?
About a Boston Tactical Omni Sling koozie. And a koozie.
Oh! Here, I've got Coyote. What color's that one? Coyote.
They're all Coyote.
Yeah.
It's a Boxer Tactical Omni Sling, sourced 100% in the United States. Boxer Tactical is a great company. Billy could not be here, but he is very, very supportive of this community. He's part of it. I mean, let's just say thank you to Boxer Tactical real quick. All right, brother, what's your name?
I'm Philip. I'm from Northern Kentucky, and this is a question for everybody here. I hate my job, and I want to get in the gun industry, and there's always barriers to entry for everything. And I was wondering what the best thing I could do to start that process to get into the gun industry.
I'll start. Just make it easy. Go work in a gun store. There is no single place in the gun industry where you can learn more.
What if I have to replace a good income?
Go work in a gun store and sacrifice. I'm not kidding. Listen, so there is something that everybody up here does. We sacrifice. Every single person up here sacrifices their time with their family, some of us with children, and that is how you do what you want to do for a living. You give things up.
There is no magic pill, man. I walked away from a very good paying job to do this, and I took a big pay cut. But I'm doing what I enjoy now. You just got to make, like he was saying, it's about making sacrifices and doing what you want to do. The biggest thing you do is just put yourself out there and just start doing it.
Yeah, just do
while
it.
you have that good paying job. I mean, throughout the entire history of the Military Arms Channel until last year, I had that good paying job, and I was doing it as a hobby. So, you know, I would come home after doing my full work week for corporate America, then I would, you know, on the weekends and evenings, I'm shooting videos, just trying to get that segue into being able to do what I can, you know, enjoy. So, really, man, it's just tenacity. You know what you want, just go get it, man. Just find
Yeah,
what
there is no easy answer to that, unfortunately. Everybody up here has just gone and done what they thought was right for them, and I encourage you to do the same. Why do you look like you got something to say, brother?
There's really no easier. Everyone right here is the same way. It started as a hobby. It was a passion. It called to us. I mean, I was thinner. I had dark hair. Now I'm starting to get a bunch of grays. The wife loves it, but it happens from staying up, sleeping 4 hours a night. You know, trying to push yourself past what you think you can do. Look at a 4 Guys Guns video, like the first 5 videos. I'm thinner. I'm happier. But nowadays, you know, we have a higher production quality because I wanted it better. I started it because I thought I could do it better than what I was seeing out there. And I'm not talking about these guys. These guys are inspiration to even me. But when you see like Guns America and stuff like that, I mean, it's like that's we wanted the new stuff. That's who we are. Shots fired. Shots fired. I do love his voice. I'm not gonna lie. I can't believe I executed that.
That was
so well,
good.
but you just gotta. This is the one industry I found where you have to give to get, and you have
That's
to give
100% true.
more than you are willing to give to get, and eventually people buy into who you are and what you do, and you build partnerships, relationships. It may look like some of us like work with some people more than others, and it's because we do. It's just like any other job where you go into a cubicle or you go into a sales floor. There's going to be different companies and people you associate with better because you have shared beliefs. You have shared kind of sense of humor. You like hanging out with that person.
And a lot of people think that's, you know, us pandering to manufacturers, and it's just we're friends with them.
Just KDG. We pander to KG.
Yeah, a little bit. I did.
You know, seek out knowledge. I mean, that's the big thing. Learn
Yes.
as much as you can and
Such a
be
great
knowledgeable and be that person that when someone asks you something, you can help point them in the right direction. And the more you're known as that person, the better off that you'll be. I mean, and it's not about being a know-it-all or whatever. It's just seek out as much knowledge as you can and be able to help those people that are new, and you'll find that you'll go a long way.
And play to your strengths, man.
Yes.
I don't know what you do for a living, but figure out a way to use that. That's what a lot of us have done. Is, you know, what we're interested in. Play to your passions. Don't, if you're too shy to go make sales calls or something, obviously don't be that guy who's going to have to do that, and you're going to be miserable. So figure out what your passions are, where they lie, and then figure out a way to work that into the gun industry.
Yeah, focus on your strengths is definitely a good one.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of you probably know that I worked the same job for 18 years, and I just quit in December. And it's scary. it was scary at first, trying to talk my wife. I wasn't planning on quitting my job. My boss gave me my evaluation for the year. That boy, there's your 3% raise. Thank you for what you do. And I looked at him, and by the way, I quit. And he's like, what?
Wow.
And he still calls me every week to this day for the past 6 months and wants me back. All right? But you have to jump.
Yeah, nobody can take that step but you, brother.
So, and you know, it's hard. It's hard to start off. You know, I filmed the first 20 videos that I have on YouTube with my cell phone in 720. Okay, I remember my first paycheck from YouTube. I thought I was the stuff, and I bought a $200 Sony Handycam. Baller status.
You can work for a company for 20 years and still fail.
Yeah.
So if you could still have the potential to fail, then why not try to do what you want?
That's a good question.
Now I've got a question. Do you have a 9mm?
I have a ton of them. I have 4.
How would you like a whole case of Federal New Syntec ammo?
An entire
It's
case?
not even on the market yet. You want an entire case?
Yeah, I already asked. They were going to make the bullets for reloading. They said not yet. So.
Okay, well, find me afterwards, and I'll get your address, and I'll send you a whole case of Federal Syntec ammo, okay?
Let's say thank you to Federal for that. Yeah. This is what I love. I love that. You can just say, oh yeah, yeah. They love Dave, so of course.
I
That's a great question. That's a great question. Go ahead, brother.
I'm Sean from Illinois.
Sean from Illinois.
We
Let's
are
hear
out
it.
there. Sean,
Yeah.
how did you come up with this Patreon thing and start fleecing me for my money?
I think everyone has to figure out a way to stand out, and I wanted to be known as an outlaw baron. So, no, I mean, crowdfunding is obviously something that happens, and we took a shot, tried to be the first gun people to really do that, which I think we were one of them, if not the first, that started doing some of that crowdfunding stuff. And I saw Patreon, and it was like a good way to get money to do the things that we do. I mean, we have advertisers and things like that, but you know, just crowdfunding was something that was new. It was something that I didn't see anyone in the gun industry doing, so we tried it, and it's been amazing. So yeah, thanks for all the cash.
Yeah, you're welcome. And keep on doing what you're doing, brother.
Yeah, nice shirt too, by the way.
You like that?
Yeah, I love it.
Mine doesn't have holes in it though.
Hey Sean, hook him up.
Oh yeah. You have Glock 19? No. 1911? Yes. How about a Savoy holster?
Savoy leather holster. Jeremiah was kind enough to make sure that we got 2 of those. Savoy does some of the nicest leather work I've ever seen. He's a super nice guy too. And I know, again, he is one of the few guys that really, truly supports and builds relationships with all of us.
And don't forget about Jerry, she's awesome too.
Yes, his wife Jerry is incredible.
I want to throw
It's a
something
team.
at somebody. Who wants a shirt?
Hey-o! Hey, if you got anything on the table, like a little patch or something, go
Yeah,
ahead,
who
throw them
wants-
out.
who wants a patch?
Throw them out. You are not keeping that patch. That is not for you.
Who wears a large?
There you go. All right, let's keep it moving. Go ahead, brother. Keep throwing stuff. Go ahead. My name's gonna get whacked.
Whoa!
Mike's Legend
Hey,
of
that dude
Zelda.
right in the head.
What's your first name? My name's Matt. Matt from Southern Indiana. Go right ahead, brother.
First off, my wife hates every one of you. Every single one of you. Because when I come home at night or during the day, the first thing my 2-year-old does is points at the TV or points at the iPad and says, shoot, shoot. So that's all she wants to watch. And I'm all on that. On top of that, to my gun collection, I want to pass it on down to them. Is a trust worth it?
Yes.
Yes.
With all the new laws and everything going on, is it worth it?
Yes.
Trust is still worth it, yeah.
For longevity, a trust is absolutely worth it. It's a little less worth it with NFA items now, but I still have. I'm not getting rid of mine. I'm not going to stop using it. And I
It's
know
also
some of these
very
guys
cost
have trust.
effective as well, very
Yeah.
cheap. In the big scheme of things, it's very cheap.
Agreed. I mean, I paid $600 for mine, and that's pricey. You know what I mean? That's a good thing.
I paid
Silencer
$49.
Silencer Co's running a special. They're doing 129, the Easy Trust, and
There you go.
there's a coupon code, Easy Trust 10, that knocks $10 off that. So if you're thinking about doing it for NFA stuff, now's the time to do it, because 41F goes into effect July 13th. So
One of the biggest things for the trust is the trustees. Okay, so if you pass away, your wife's a trustee, then there's no special paperwork that has to be filed with the ATF and everything. There's no executor that actually holds your items or anything like that. she is in possession of them at that point, and then you can also pass them down to your kids as beneficiaries. My children are beneficiaries of my trust, and they're 5 and 2. So when they get of age, when they get of 18, they can be a trustee, and they can be in possession of those items. They don't have to be 21 to be in possession. So it still has many benefits, and it's worth the extra paperwork hassle to go through the trust process and procure your NFA items like that. Regular firearms, though, just do a will. Just have a good solid will for your firearms collection itself, but have a trust for your NFA stuff.
Yeah, I put all my firearms in trust because you're also protected. You get in a car accident, somebody wants to sue you personally, everything in trust is protected, they can't touch it.
There's something I want to add to that too. It's not really related to trust, but it's also important, is to have a firearm-specific insurance policy. That is very, very, very important. Okay, so what if something happens and there's some catastrophic event, your house burns down or something, and then now you have no guns to hand down because all your guns are burned up. So, I mean, a firearms insurance policy, a specific to firearms insurance policy is extremely important. I would highly recommend doing it. I mean, it's not that much either. I get mine through Core Banks, and I want to say for like $200,000 worth of coverage for firearm specific, it's like $400 a year. It's not bad at all. It's cheap. It's definitely a good investment.
How would you like to shoot your friends? I've got a UTM core kit for you, brother. So for those of you that don't know, UTM makes simulated ammunition so that you can safely do force on force and things like that. And this is a kit to transform your AR-15 to use that ammo.
I can assure you it's
Make
still
sure he
hurts.
gets that manual.
Oh,
There's
Yeah.
That's really cool. That was from MTAC Training. MTAC is out of Muncie, Indiana. They're actually about to open a shoot house. Yes, a shoot house where you can go and literally shoot your friends safely, and it is so much fun, right, Whitey? I have a scar to prove it.
Well,
Whitey lit me up. Oh my God.
if Aaron loses any more of our stuff or breaks it, I'm going to shoot him for real.
Well, it's in Indiana, so you can make that happen. Nailed it. All right, brother. Let's hear it.
My name's Ethan Ray. I'm from Boswell, Ohio.
Hi, Ethan. Hey, Ethan. Ethan just graduated high school?
Yesterday.
Clap it up for Ethan.
And in February, I enlisted in the United States military, and I would like to know, for mainly Tim and Eric, what was your guys' inspiration to joining the military, and if you could give me any tips for my future?
This is a good one.
My inspiration, nobody in my family was military. I had a passion for firearms. I wanted to go shoot cool guns, and I figured the Marines would hook me up, and they did. So it's, you know, I don't know what branch, I'm assuming Air Force from the shirt you're wearing?
Yeah.
For the Marines, I would say run now and run alive. If going to the Air Force, I couldn't speak to how their basic or their boot camp goes, but I would still start running. I'm sure they're going to run.
Not like AWOL or anything.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Wow.
Don't run off the base. Stay on the base. Just run in circles.
I have to say, I joined because I was pissed about 9/11. I'll tell you something. I skipped school the day 9/11 happened. I didn't know, of course, it was going to happen. I skipped school and I stayed home. And I watched everything unfold on TV. I was so angry. I just want to go over there and kill those assholes. That's all I could think about. I just was so angry. I was a grunt. I was an infantry guy. I was 11 Charlie, so I was a mortarman, but basically a grunt. And it was an interesting experience. I mean, I was in Iraq in 2005, and I was 20 years old at the time, so I was really young and dumb, and I shouldn't even be alive, really. But the best advice I can give you in terms of military service is that you're smart by going the Air Force route. My wife's going to make me say this, but all 3 girls are in the Air Force for 1.
You can come up here and slap it.
Two, they're going to teach you stuff that you can carry on in the civilian world when you get out. Yeah. I mean, I'd learn how to fly drones or do something crazy like be a helicopter pilot. Because, being a grunt, while it's character building work, that doesn't really translate to a job resume quite the same as, I was a drone pilot, or, I'm I don't know, some fancy pants IT guy in the Air Force. I mean, I would encourage you to seek out a technical field where you'll really learn the trade, and that way you can take that in the civilian world and make the big bucks.
Yeah, let the government pay for it.
Yeah, infantry doesn't pay anything.
That's a good question. Hey, Ethan, why don't you come up here and get yourself a sling from Boxer Tactical. We got another Coyote
Heck yes.
Omni sling coming for you right here. Clap it up. Thank you, Ethan.